In this video, we will be discussing all about today's tech news, that is 8 February 2026, where what are the things is happening in an industry. That news has been discussed in this particular watch up till the end. Enjoy this watch this video up till the end if you wanted to stay updated in this particular AI revolutions, and a lot of things is happening in AI, and the news is happening like exploding like anything. So if you wanted to stay updated, please watch this particular video up till the end. Please stay tuned and enjoy the show. Welcome back to my channel, folks. So in this particular video, like very structured enough, all about that. Okay, so we'll discuss about first of all tech news. Then second, we'll understand in depth what are the things. By we will be visiting lot more videos, lot more blog posts to understand in depth about that. Then we'll try to understand and in depth all the things. Four segments will be going to divide. Then fifth section, we will be going to discuss more in depth related to the use cases, all the related to that stuff. Okay, so yeah, if you have not watched my previous podcasts related to it, you can do watch it out and you will get lot of sense. So that podcasts are like very many segments are there where I post all day to day tech related content as well. So you will get lot of, in a less time you will get lot of benefits like snippets. I will be going to post as a podcast. I will be not recording total whole 1 hour video or 2 hour video. It will be not no more value for my audiences. So no one can understand that depth as well. So no one watches one short video. So I try to record it mini segments like 8 seconds video so that you will try to engage this particular podcast like mini podcast actually that I am trying to put that way. Okay, so I have already posted that one. Okay, so you can do check this out as well. So let's focus on first news related to it. So let me explain that in an Excali draw. So you will be understanding what I am trying to focus. It is like, do you know about the Python FastAPI frameworks and PostgreSQLs in banking and finance, India and also globally? Globally, how things is happening. No maintain news case studies. Like there is a no particular news about like a bank is telling the publicly running core banking system on Python or FastAPI plus PostgreSQL in production. So these are the related to the references engineering references. Okay, so this is not a proof exactly. So it is not regulated by any financial institution naming that stack as a core ledger platform. So it's according to my experience, what are the things I observe in a tech, observe like related into the banks, whatever the experience I have. So I do record kind of a thing, and according to my understanding, try to decode that as well. So let me show you couple of things now here. Okay, so what is happening in and around what this blog post is all about. Let me show you that poor blog post so that you can understand from out of it. Then we'll try to summarize those stuff and at the last. Okay, so let me show you this particular thing like from the Touchlane LLC, right? It's 318 followers they have. So let me just check it out, this particular blog post. Let me understand what happens here. So what they are trying to sell is trying to tell. So I will just try to copy this particular thing. Okay, so let me copy this blog post and try to create this particular one. So see now, this particular thing, when payment app freezes for a few seconds, you can't help but wonder if your money just vanished. Like for an engineering teams, that moment occurs like from a traffic spike, successful product launch, search peer-to-peer transfers, puts everything things to test. Goal is to make a thousands of transactions per second, feel instance while guarding each one against failure and fraud. Right? What is the best way to build a system, right, that does not buckle under pressure? Then in this particular article I trying to decode it. Okay, we walk through the real engineering challenges, keeping our data consistent where everything is moving fast. spotting fraud in real time without slowing things down, designing an architecture that scales when you need it, choosing between technologies like Java, Kotlin, and event-driven systems. Okay, so they are trying to talk about that. It is very great article. You can just watch it out and you can follow them as well. Right? They are trying to make it a lot of things. I try to follow this particular article. I love to enjoy this kind of a article which is talking about those things. Okay, so we also talk about the constant balancing act, how to keep transaction fast, safe without your infrastructure. Okay, so bill going through the roof. Okay, if you are building less generation of financial products, that this is one for you. They have some particular article, folks, so try to let me go to this particular article, what they are trying to tell and all those stuffs. We'll try to cover all the things. Be patient and try to watch up till the end. Okay, so let me cover that one as well. Okay, so they have one particular article by the Touchlane. They have some critical articles, like very great product. Okay, so they are kind of none of the organizations like I have worked for, they kind of document like this, but this is very great, which I can say about it. Okay, so for real-time transaction at scale, engineering challenges in high-load fintech systems. Like keep documenting, folks. This is very great. I am very excited about this. Okay, so in fintech, customers want instant transfers and business rely on uninterrupted payment flows. We explore what it takes to build a system that stays online even under high load, right? So high load infrastructure per second and simultaneously protect the each and every data point, each failure against a failure and fraud. To achieve the balance, a company needs to build a strong infrastructure, design decisions that put security and real-time data processing at the center of the system's DNA. So surprise jump in a peer-to-peer transform, a sudden spike in user activity following a product launch or a regulatory update can really strain the system. Those moments, whether the infrastructure has been built to handle the traffic spikes and prevent the data loss. So, this particular article analyzes over engineering, how engineering teams that challenge protecting the data without impeding business growth. So, this article analyzes how engineering teams tackle that challenge, protecting the data without impeding the business growth, scaling without chaos, and designing for a speed without sacrificing safety. Right? So, this is a FinTech Facts 2025. Fintechs are growing three times faster than the traditional banks, despite only accounting for around 3% of banking and insurance revenues. In 2025, more than 78% of internet users worldwide use at least one fintech service each month. So, with 89% of users utilizing online or mobile banking, digital banking to be the most popular fintech service. Major Major consideration for design backend systems that process millions of transactions. When a fintech is integrated in a mobile application, every interaction is evaluated in a real time. Customers expect payments and account updates to appear immediately. What makes it work is the backend that manages millions of transactions daily without hesitation. And below are the five things that take into the accounting when you are building one, right? So compliance built for a mobile world. Okay, so compliance built for mobile world. So to meet the strict compliance rules, backend system employ several key strategies. Storage key strategies such as Amazon S3 with server side encryption protect sensitive data at rest. So, jurisdiction aware database automatically stores the data without mandated geographical boundaries and for full visibility logging platforms as well, such as ELK Stack or AWS CloudWatch provides the auditors with the clarity they need. Okay, ultimately, this solid foundation allows the business to expand globally without running into the legal trouble. So, data consistency that matches the user expectation as well. Every slight delay on a mobile device can be a problematic. Backend system frequently uses a databases like PostgreSQLs with partitioning, Amazon Aurora, Cockroach DB for distribution accuracy to maintain the balance and histories. Okay, so microservices construct with a Node.js or a Spring Boot may be the use for transaction validation For example, one service may prepare reporting, another may update for ledger, and third may verify the payment. So this preserves the accuracy while keeping the app responsive. Fraud detection in real time. System must perform continuous check to detect the fraud concealed in the waves of valid payments. Tools like Apache Kafka or AWS Kinesis are built for live monitoring. In addition, machine learning services like AWS Fraud Detector or a TensorFlow models spot fraud in real time. As a result, customers still sees a smooth app experience, but the system quietly protects every transaction. Scalability that absorbs the sudden spikes. Successive app release or right partnership can increase the fintech app usage overnight. Backend oftenly prepare for this by utilizing the following containerization orchestration systems such as Kubernetes, a cloud auto scaling on AWS ECS, caching layers like Redis or Memcached. In this manner, when transaction numbers suddenly increase, the mobile does not stall. Instead, it continues to function that as expected. And also, I wanted to say that feature flag is also important. So you have to go through this aspect as well. So resilience that protects the customer trust. Tech outages happens. The user expects the mobile banking to work around the clock. To meet that demand, engineers set up some multi-region deployments with the systems like AWS Aurora to keep data consistent worldwide. They also services meshes. STIO is a common choice to reroute the traffic in milliseconds. In this case, failover happens behind the scenes, so the app continues without interruption. Okay, so like which one to choose the right technology? So they have just curated like great blog post. You have to do watch it this particular article. I will just put it this into the description. You can just watch it out as well. So this is one particular article. When your fintech serves grows and begins to handle high frequency real time transaction, financial data and processing stands at the core at the business. At this stage, business strategy and technology decisions are equally important. If you pick the wrong foundation, hidden cost will soon become apparent. If you pick the right one, your team will gain stability and speed. These are the few of the best choices to think about. So you have to think about Java. Pros and cons both are there altogether. So when we talk about the pros, long standing reputation in finance backed like by decades, use in banks and trading platforms. Mature ecosystem with libraries and frameworks for transaction, processing, and security. Rich talent pool, easier to hire engineers with relevant experience. Okay, so cons is that verbose syntax can slow down the development compared to modern alternatives. Heavy runtime footprint, which may raise infrastructure cost under very high loads. But it can best fit bank trading firms, financial services providers that run mission critical applications with large transaction volumes where reliability and long term support matter more than development speed. Okay, so it is the same stability and library support such as Java if you wanted to go with the Kotlin, and it also supports the JVM. More expressive, concise, allows the teams to work more with a fewer lines of code. Strong adoption in Android development, create a consistent developer experience. Cons part is like it is a small developer community compared to Java. It has some niche cases, compatibility issues, and arise when mixing older Java libraries. It can best fit companies build Android apps that want faster development cycles without giving up the proven reliability of Java ecosystem. It works best for startups, growing businesses, Android focused teams. Okay, so these are the things, folks, like you have to understand. Let's suppose if you are building a event driven architecture. So, if you think about the event driven architecture, what are the pros, what are the cons, and what is the best fit? Okay, so breaks the large system into the smaller reactive components that communicate through events, scales naturally with transaction volume. New services can be added without rework the entire system. Fraud alerts, transaction approvals, or notification can help instantly. And cons part is more moving parts require stronger monitoring, governance. and initial complexity is higher than monolithic approaches. Okay, so initial complexity is very higher. So best fit is like growing startups and subject matter experts that are looking for architecture that will not struggle as a volume arise and have a resources more maintained to complex setup. So this architecture will especially helpful for the companies that need to respond the real time to the events that impact operations, customers or compliance. On other hand, if the model is implemented too soon, companies will study low volume operations or little technical resources may encounter needless complexity. Okay, so these are the things, folks, like what you should do. If you are interested, you can do check this particular article, and they are able to tell lot of things. What you should do: define a non-negotiables, quantify the acceptable risk, plan of growth, watch the bill, choose the right tech partner. So these are the things, folks, like you have to understand. Like if I will be going to tell about the conclusion, every transaction process error has a cost. Okay, so lot of user fines from the government and harm to one's reputation. Fintech system that malfunctions or misses a crucial opportunity wastes the resources rather than promotes the growth. Okay, so therefore you and your development team should make choices with the future in mind. When transaction volume increase, the system still needs to remain fast and compliant. That is a true test. Not the launch week. Poor architecture decision always comes back as an inflator, infrastructure bills and expensive fixes. At Touch Lane, they are developing the fintech solutions, fintech platforms that focus on mobile devices, reliability, and as a top priority. Like their systems is like Endostat satisfy audit specification and keep working under most trying circumstances. Whether you are a small startup or mid-sized company, they will be going to guide you towards the best solution for your for your current challenge. So if you wanted to explore the fintech scalability or any kind of a costly surprises, you can go and reach out to them. Okay, so these are the particular blog article which is written by the uh, Evan Evgeny, lead backend developer, which they are he is worked in under the fintech and banking. So you can just try to check. It is a very great article out there, and they are built kind of an articles. You can just try to learn from their experiences as well, whatever the things they have done all together. Okay, so this is very critical, folks. You have to understand this kind of a blog articles not by any decision making. You have to understand whatever whenever the decisions are made. So not about like building from a scratch will be always a solution. Okay, so this was a most critical article that out there. So you can just check this out. Okay, so there is another article by the GitHub Engineering evidences shows the fast API used to expose the endpoints for financial analytics and banking data services, indicating an implementation in practice, not from bank itself. So there is a particular article out there. You can change like it is from the research gate, so you can check this particular research paper where they are talking about more about the engineering sustainability data architecture for modern financial institutions. Okay, so you can do check this out. Okay, so I will just try to put this particular article out there in a escalator, so I can share this particular thing to you guys, so you can just do check this out, folks. It's very great article out there, and another news about this particular research paper. So it's very takes more of time, folks, to give you this particular article. So it takes lot of research to pull out this information, folks. So you can just check it out, this particular one. So let me know if you want a depth, like how things is happening, how ETL pipeline is happening, how the processing layer is happening, and all those stuffs. We'll try to understand and depth for how the things has to be built, how the research paper will have like whenever one particular industry, one particular company, when they try to do it, there will be a research paper altogether, how they face challenge and how the things has happened. Okay, so that was one of the article, folks. So another article by explaining the Python used in finance notes. So there is a Python adoption in modeling, trading systems, data analysis, and backend tooling by major investments firms and hedge funds that are oftenly paid in other languages and databases. Okay, so let me check it out this way. Okay, so custom software, financial trading, business services, Python for telecom, and there are a lot of things, there are a lot of articles out there in various use cases they are talking about, like how the serverless healthcare solution has helped them, and you can check this particular out. Okay, so I don't wanted to show you couple of things. Okay, so I just pulled up this particular article from one of the chat GPT itself, so you can check it out. But I just for the source of purpose, I'm just trying to tell this particular thing, folks. So these are the research paper which I found from this particular articles. Whatever the news is happening, like I'm trying to use better way actually. Yeah. So number two news is why bank still uses the Oracle and legacy Java systems that we will be going to focus about. First news is Oracle banking and its products. They are using banking upgrading using Oracle products to increase scalability. Okay, so Oracle core banking modernizing rollouts are ongoing, and there are millions of customers as well. Okay, so this is one of the news out there if you want to understand about that. So to increase the scalability, and there are tens of millions of customers out there. So there is a one of the article from a Oracle. So let me show you one of the articles, like what they wanted to say about that. So let me show you that kind of a things. I will just attach this particular thing in description, folks. You can try to understand what they are trying to do it. Okay, so I don't think there are open architecture. They are Oracle Exadata, Oracle Private Cloud Compliance, OLTP performance, and all those things here. Okay, so you try to go through it. So you will try to understand what this particular article is talking about. Like it's not about a major thing. They are told about in depth. Okay, so major institutes like music banks are like core operation with Oracle banking solutions. Like it's related to the banking itself, folks. So like an analysis of legacy, banks moreover rely on monolithic architectures. Okay, so and also service tells that, and industry also tells that, like banking application still runs on older, that is a Java version, creating a security modernizing that which is reinforcing the continuous use of legacy Java stacks. So, and also public evidence is telling that like banks is retaining the Oracle and legacy Java systems for a core functions, like because those platforms are deeply integrated, enterprise grade support and compliance tooling also is there, and replacing them into the regulatory coordinations as well. Okay, so these are the things, folks. Like you have to understand third thing, that when and why the Postgres is chosen. Okay, so let me talk about that way now. This article, whatever the things is, uh, they are trying to tell. So it's based upon my experience. I'm trying to tell that. So there are documented cases, right? These are the document cases and industry reporting reports on PostgreSQL. Okay, so let me go with it. So let me show you that. So there is 99% of automation rate significant. Okay, so cost of ownership, customization effort. Like Fortune 50 companies migrating from Oracle databases to Postgres for greater flexibility. Like low licensing cost, modern distributed deployment compatibility, and Postgres is open source and it is an attractive where cost increases the cost, cloud deployment options, and adaptability to evolving workloads. Okay, so matter especially when paid with enterprise supports like EDB Postgres. Okay, so these are the things, folks. Like there are a lot of articles altogether. If you want, let me know to cover in detail. Okay, so there are a lot of articles out there. So let me know if you wanted to cover in depth actually. Okay, so there are a lot of articles out there. There are a lot of news folks like out there. If you want me to cover, let me know in comment section. If this video get like 300 like mil like if at least 1,000 views if I get then I will try to record that one. Okay, so fourth one, we'll try to focus ERP system and workflow engines using the businesses and across industries. So let me focus on those things. So I was had a conversation with one of the consultant. They were telling that ERP system for a workflow for their only business, it will not work without any research. They were talking about those things. It is not scalable, this thing, that thing, and all those things they were telling. All the things they are I know like pretty much more consultants out there. They only talk about how I can build this company. They are not focusing about how can I give better solution out there to them. Okay, so it happens, not an issue. So Oracle publishes the ERP implementations case stories covering operational transactions transitions in enterprise setting. Okay, so it is one of the article out there like news only from the Oracle. So so pretty much more of people tells that it is not a scalable, and they have various case studies. Okay, so let me show you that one ERP implementation where they have used workflow engines. Like they have this particular thing. Let me show you this particular article out there. So I told pretty much of times, many people I told this use workflow. It will help you in this particular industries. Okay, so let me talk about this particular thing. Okay, so they have pretty much very great documentation out there from an Oracle. So you can do check this out as well. Okay, so let me show you this way. If you want, you can contact them. Okay, so it's up to you if you want that solution, that kind of a solution. And I can also help out like which solution is required for your business use case. So let me know and do check it out my meeting link so that I can provide you the best solutions. Consultation I do for a companies as well, which kind of a solution and which kind of an architecture they wanted to adapt. That also I can help the companies as well. Okay, so ERP software connects the most important function of businesses include financials and asset management, supply chain management, customer relationship management, and human resources. That's why an ERP implementation is such a big deal. Okay, so payoff such an substantial a single system to connect standardize the data in real time teams across the business, a shared view of performance, and one source of truth improves the decision making and planning. However, ERP implementation have a potential pitfalls. If your project team fails to create a vision, guide the project, and still a spirit of teamwork among everyone involved and communicate its objective to employees, you might not solve your business challenge, get the results you need. So they have kind of a thing, folks. Like I have understood in 2009, the discover the financial services, a large credit band in United States. All the things is are there. Okay, so they have kind of a Oracle Fusion Cloud ERP, Oracle Fusion Cloud Enterprise Performance Management. All the things they have. Okay, so teamwork and trust. So ERP helps the Hormel Foods unifies the business. Okay, so they have like lot of kind of things, folks. So you can do check this particular article as well. Why do ERP implementation fail? So they have also article out there. Our leading case is the container contingency planning. At outset, implementation team should identify like causes of delays, cost overruns, plan accordingly. For instance, there are existing vulnerabilities in the company business model. They need to fix while launching the project. So unrealistic expectation and another reason of for a failure. Okay, those that is like one of the companies that happened, the like unrealistic expectation that happened, right? So if you want this particular guide, you can just try to check this particular like your ERP implement start by choosing the right system. They have correct things like what are the uh, what are the critical things that you need to see. So you can do check this particular article out there you to get a lot of things about that. Okay, so these are the things about that. Okay, so there are a lot of things like industry researchers identifies that ERP systems are the backbone of business operations, and specific out there about the broadly. Okay, so you can do check it out like ERP stack, product services, ecosystem at scale, and all those stuff. Okay, so workflow orchestration, and there are also pretty much workflow orchestration and automation for complex tasks as well. So you can do check this particular article as well. So let me brainstorm about that. So what is happening, I'll just try to summarize things. Okay, if I try to explain each and everything, it will take a lot of time, folks. Okay, so let me show you HR, supply chain reporting, industry sector, manufacture, technical literature, not specific bank releases, such as like it supports broadly. Okay, so ERP as an enterprise talks for product and services, illustrating the ecosystem at a scale, and academic work for next generation ERP highlights an intelligent workflow orchestration and the like reporting via transfers and regulatory compliance through research prototypes. Okay, so they have kind of a things like which I have observed from a research when I was building this workflow kind of a solution to one of the companies, but they don't understood and they mislead me. Okay, so try to tell that this is not a scalable, this can be not done, but the vision, core vision, no one understands. Like they told that they wanted to integrate an AI solutions at there. I told that this can be done through this particular thing, but they did not uh, had a trust with me, so I don't try to work with them. So that is the one core solution I observed that, and the lack of clarity I understood. So and they try to consult another consultant. So I understood like they are just trying to rebuilding, over promising my trust, and they are not understanding my kind of an expertise, kind of understand like pros and cons about that. So I understood telling the solutions to doubt them, it's not at all useful. Okay, so there is one kind of a generative AI, a generative process, business process for AI agents, enterprise resource planning and finance. There is one of the article out there. You can do check this out as well. Okay, so let me copy this and let me show you the particular article, particular research paper, which where they are. I have a kind of I have document this particular thing, folks. So you can tell me out there. Let me copy this. Okay, so let me. I don't know what is happening. Okay, SCI Hub, Sci Hub. Okay, so let me show you. Let me enter this DOI. Okay. I do not have matching your request. Okay, so maybe some issues with that, folks. So you can just check this particular article out there. So Google Books are there. So you can enterprise workflow, how they have done process AI agents, GBAs, that brainly autonomy, the reasoning part, and all those things, synthesizing the workflow. And they have the frameworks like 40% reduction in processing time, 90% drop in error rate, and all those stuffs. So let me like you can just try to see this particular article like Huang Yang, like some like Japanese kind of a, they have released on one particular research paper out there. So you can do check this particular out. Whenever people don't take this suggestion, they will try to lack a lot. Okay, so in futures as well. So related papers you can try to find it out. Demos they have, demos if you wanted to have, you can do check this out as well. Okay, so it is a 2nd June 2025, folks. It has been released submitted, so you can do like do specifically check it this out as well. Research article, multi-agent orchestration also they are doing. Like lot of things is happening in industry, but the people ignore that. And also there is a public evidence like ERP systems are widely used industries, including finance and banking, for integrated operations like established suites like Oracle, SAP, cloud native platforms, like a research on adaptive workflow engines shows the real implementation and extraordinary directions. Okay, so let me show you another news about the scalability of workflow relationship that is very helpful, helped actually. So I am not trying to tell like whatever the things in the news that is there. I'm just trying to tell that this is a particular proofs and all those things, but relevant engineering and resources sources provides a factual context. Okay, so this is a thing, folks. So let me show you the multi-record domain model. There is a less direct like public reporting friendly as single versus multi-record domain model scalability, but relevant engineering and research sources that financial data architecture research highlights that multi-layer system for processing, integration, and storage geared towards the performance and sustainability operations, which implies the architecture must handles the data domains at scale. Okay, so this research shows that on generative AI workflows in ERP shows that real implementation where complex business processes like wire transfer, reimbursements are automated through intelligent orchestrations, achieving measurable performance improvements. Okay, and also it is shows that what is not available in the public news is like formal news published comparative case study, and there is a evaluating workflow modeling style and single versus multi-record domain model. So there is no evidence about that in financial production applications. Okay, so these are the things that I have observed, and there is also regulatory constraints and architectural decisions as well. So digital banking architecture resource there is a PCI, DSS, data protection standards, and auditable must be embedded it in the design, especially for the core transaction systems. Okay, so there is also one of the thing, and there is a case examples where code modernization stress importance of architecture that supports the compliance, security, risk management as a core constraint influencing technology out there. So there is one of the articles as well, core banking system, how legacy system hold banks back. So there is one of the articles as well. So let me show you that. Okay, so there is one of the article out there that they are talking about that, folks. I have, due to the time constraint, I am not try to discuss all the things here. Okay, so so how the things is they are lacking. So you can just try to check this particular out, folks, like how they are lacking a lot in that those aspect. Okay, so I will not try to cover in detail about that. So I will just put into the description whatever the articles has to tell. Okay, so I will be trying to talk about that. So let's proceed now with the use case and case study. Whatever the workflows, ERP plus workflow system actually work. So imagine a mid-sized company just growing a business. So there is a company out there. Let's suppose this is a company. Okay, it is a mid-sized company. Let's imagine. So this videos will be helping you for those guys who wanted to build this kind of a workflows. Okay, so mid-sized company, uh, not a bank, not a startup, just a growing a business. Okay, so they have a sales team. Okay, imagine they have a sales team, finance team, HR team, and operations team. Okay, so they have these four teams all together. Okay, so they sell the products in multiple cities, multiple vendors, and hundreds of employees. They decide to implement. They sell products. What they do exactly? They sell multiple vendors, hundreds of employees. Okay, and hundreds of employees. Okay, so they wanted to sell kind of a thing. Okay, so we don't go right now as a thing. So they sell products in multiple cities, multiple vendors, and hundreds of employees. Okay. So they decide to implement an ERP system. So before going to implementing the ERP system, you have to understand one thing, what ERP really means, right? ERP is a one central system where that answers the questions like how much money did we earn, right? So you have to understand before implementing what the system will able to do. How much money did we earn, right? Who approved this payment, right? Right? Who approved this payment, and which vendor supplied this item, right? Which vendor supplied this item, right? Which employee is active, right? Which address should invoice go to, right? And these are the things, which address should invoice go to. And ERP is such thing like it is a one source of truth for a business. They really don't understand really implication of an ERP. So I have worked with one of the companies. They don't really understand what the ERP exactly means. They have pretty much different application altogether. They are building separate application altogether and single database, single source of truth. But that is not an ERP. Everything has to have a single source of truth for a business owner, right? So this is what really lot of people don't understand really, and consultants try to build that before like not having a clear understanding. They try to give the solution to them. Okay, so example in the real world, big companies use Oracle. Okay, SAP. Growing companies use NetSuite's Dynamics. Modern fintechs use cloud systems like Mambu plus ERP. Okay, so let's talk about the Mambu. What is a Mambu? So it is a SaaS cloud booking platform. Okay, so if you just go to this core banking born in the cloud. So majorly banking sectors, they try to believe in this kind of a thing, folks. So you can do, if you are from a like banking background, so you can do check this out as well. Okay, so where workflow comes in. Now let's talk about where comes in. We talk about now what ERP really means and what are the things we have to talk about. Okay, so now where workflows comes in. ERP alone is a data storage. Okay, workflow decides how works moves. Right. So let's suppose you talk about the one particular business process. It has something, right? So how it should work, how the work should move, right? That is where the workflow comes in, right? So payment request comes, manager approves it, financial checks happens, compliance verifies, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, what happens you should know, right? So the movement is a workflow. Okay, so no one understand this particular use case, why this is particular thing is happening. So let's suppose understand now. Let us take an example of use case number 1. Let's suppose there is a simple workflow. Let's take an example X company, that it is a small company. So now there is a kind of a workflow they have. Okay, workflow they have: expense manager approval, finance paid. Okay, so now here there is a data model now, simple: one address, one bank account, one record per setup. Okay, this works fine, right? Simple workflow, and the data model is simple: one address, one bank account, one record per step. This works fine, right? So now use case number 2, there is a real business where things break, right? So now let's take an use case number 2. It is a real business where really things break now. Now this company grows, right? Now they have three offices. Now the company grows. They have three offices, five vendors, multiple bank accounts, employees joining and leaving, multiple approaches per transaction. Reality, one company, multiple address, one vendor, multiple payment methods, one employee, multiple roles, one workflow steps, many records. Right? So these are the things you have to understand, that these are the workflow, that whatever I'm talking about, this particular thing is very genuine thing. You have to understand the patterns here. Like I have worked almost like like I told that this is a thing that you need to build. What they need to build, I just told that, but they don't focus it, they don't trust me. So these are the things. Assumes if ERP assumes one record, problem starts. Okay, so these are the things, folks. I like no one understand. Like I told that you should have a monitoring system altogether, where who enters your system, what they did, what are the things has been work, what are the tasks they have done. Every monitoring has should be there. So what happens next, you have to understand that aspect. Okay, so no one understood this particular thing, and everyone is talking out there like just a fluff. Okay, so this is a thing like single record design. Understand, folks, it is a bad for scale. So how many ERPs are wrongly built, right? So what happens? New address overrides the old batch, old data is lost, no history, no audit, compliance risk. Okay, so this is what many consults do. Upsert kar do, update if exist, insert if not. This is not a scalable design, folks. Okay, so let me talk about multi-record design, a multi-record design, where how this real ERP works. Okay, so correct design is like company addresses, many billing, many shipping, and offices will be also having a many. Right. So these are the things you have to understand this particular way. Each record has its own ID. It has active inactive status, primary flag, created date, and audit trial. This is how Oracle NetSuite actually think internally. Okay. So you need to think about this aspect as well. So they have internally all the things out there, who who is using our software and all these things as well. So why this matters for a workflow? So for example, let's take an example now. Why this matter for workflow? Now, let's suppose we have an example of vendor management, right? Vendor payment. So it has some workflows, right? Let's consider now workflow steps. You have to break it this down. So I'm just trying to take a simple use case, so that how you should think about a business process. Workflow is nothing but how you will be working step by step. Okay, so you have to think about that. So one thing is, what step number one is vendor submits invoice. Number two, finance checks. Okay, so number two, finance checks happens, right? So number three is happens compliance verifies. So this is number three, right? And number four, payment released. So payment will be released to that particular person, so that he can change the workflow when the workflow changes, right? So if vendor has multiple bank accounts, multiple address, what should happen? If vendor has uh, multiple bank accounts and multiple addresses, so what should workflow should say? Okay, so this planning, you should understand about this particular workflow understanding. So use, like you have to tell that workflow must say that use primary bank account if account is inactive, block payment, keep history for an audit. This is impossible with single record design, right? So multiple record design has some pros and cons as well. So you have to understand this is impossible single record design. Okay, so scalability. When I'm telling about the scalability, uh, like in a simple terms, if I wanted to talk about that, single record workflow, easy to build, works for demo, and breaks in real life. Okay, multi-record workflow. It is a slightly complex, handles growth. Okay, and it survives audits, and it supports the regulation. This is what scalable workflow actually means. Okay, so let's suppose if I'm talking about ERP plus workflow in banking or financial perspective, banks don't replace the core system easily. Okay, so instead core banking is legacy. So for a legacy kind of a work, folks, So why you wanted to rebuild the ERP system, right? You have a core banking legacy application, right? So you have to attach one kind of a thing which is a workflow which can be written using any kind of a framework where you are integrating, right? So this is ERP workflow layer that you are trying to build it, and another one is ERP compliance or operations that you are building top of that as a template. You are trying to use that. Okay, so this is a particular sense where you can build a solution out there, folks. So these are the things that everyone has to understand. If the core legacy application is not stable enough, you have to think that aspect first. You building core legacy application from a scratch, it does not make any sense for any kind of a business. So core systems are stable. Why this you have to think about. Core system are stable. ERP handle processes, workflow handles control, right? And audit regulation sits on top. That's why Oracle and Java still exists. Okay, so you don't think that Java is an old language or anything. That's why it still exists, right? So Postgres using surrounding system. Python API is used for orchestration, like kind of a workflow system, like kind of an AI implementation if you wanted to build it. So these are the things, folks. Like put into the structure is very important before giving into the AI automation or those stuffs. Okay, so another thing you need to understand, another perspective in the keeping in the mind of a business, regulatory angle. Why design is forced? Okay, so these are the things is very important out there, and regulations are care about who approved, when. Okay, so who approved. Regulatory score about is who approved, when, what was changed, and what was active at that time. If ERP overrides the data, audit trails, compliance fails, legacy risk. Okay, so like what I have pattern observed from most of consultants oftenly get this wrong uh, is more consultants do copy the CRUD code, right? So I have observed this particular pattern in uh, like where I currently worked. Okay, so like they just copy the CRUD code. Okay, they try to build a structure, audits, loggings, and all like separate applications they're trying to build as a package. It is not a thing for an ERP to build it. I correctly tell that. So assume one record. They assume one record. Okay, one source of a truth. They ignore future scale. They ignore the audit needs. Okay, so these are the things, folks, that I understood, and they ignore the audit needs. Okay, so they build form plus status column. Okay, and they don't build workflow system. They build form plus status column, and they don't build workflow systems. Okay, so what is a key takeaway from out of this discussion I wanted to talk about is very simple, folks. If you are talking about AI is not everything. Okay, if you are not implementing a structure, then AI can't help you in those aspects. Okay, so agentic is come, everything is came, AI will not do everything, right? So you have to understand ERP is a business memory, workflow is a business movement, single record is a shortcut, multi record is a real system, and scalability handling the growth without breaking. Regulation is a force is a good design. If a system can't handle multiple address, multiple approval, multiple records per step, it's not an ERP, it's just a form system that you are building, just a form system, right? So it's not a great application out there, according to me. So these are the final takeaway you have to understand, folks. So this is a what about me, and how this things you need to focus up upon when you are building an ERP kind of a system. That think about it, try to cross question with the consultant, cross question with the people that you build within itself. So you have to understand that aspect as well, folks. So that's it from my side, folks. So because what I understand is this is a simply reason, folks. So I don't wanted to take this forward. So that's it from my side, folks. This is a long video out there. So weekly once I try to record this particular kind of a thing. If you want a daily me to record it, So let me know. So if you are interested, then we will try to create a lot more videos as well. So that's it from my side, folks. Have a great day and have a great day evening. So keep exploring, keep learning, and all those things. This technically daily 30 minutes. Put it that way. Try to learn new thing, new news, whatever the things is happening in and around your world. Try to learn from out there. Okay, so let me know in the next. I will try to create a daily do videos related to tech news and Python in banking and finance. What is happening, that I will also do that. So let me know in comment section, folks, what you want. Like, do you liking like a small snippets kind of a podcast or kind of a thing? I can try to record that, that kind of a things that would be suitable for you if you getting a lot more understanding from out of there.